Time now for Back to the Basics in Healthcare with Balanced Life Chiropractic. And we've got Dr. Harley. How you doing?
Hi, doing great this morning. How are you, John?
I am fantastic. And we had our first official big snow of the season. And I bet there are probably some folks coming in to see you this week who maybe overdid it with a shovel, aren't there?
Oh, yeah. And I was telling patients last week, make sure that you're shoveling properly if you're having to shovel snow, especially if it's heavier snow. So hopefully there's not much of that this week because I, forewarned them about obviously people that don't come and see me or see a chiropractor maybe didn't know what they should do or shouldn't do, right?
Absolutely. But with the snow, that one's kind of behind us, but I guarantee you we'll have more to come between now and the end of the winter. So what are the things people should be doing when they know that there's snow and they've got to go out and move it?
Now, I'm sure there's people still shoveling out because that was a lot of snow and maybe they didn't want to get to it over the weekend or they were working or something like that. So usually people have two options, right? Either you're shoveling it with a shovel or you're using a snowblower. Yeah. Now, if you're not fortunate to have a snowblower, this one's going to be a little more of a talk for you because when you're using a snowblower, all you're doing is pushing it, right? Yeah. But, it's still a lot of work to move that because it's heavy. It's moving snow, and the heavier the snow, the thicker the snow, the more work it's going to be to push that.
And maneuvering that machine around, you could probably jostle something out of place.
Yeah. So, still makes sense to make sure you're taking breaks. You don't have to do it all at one time. It seems like whenever there's a lot of snow that needs to get moved, everyone's like, oh, I got to get this done right now. You're going to overdo it, and you're going to be sorry for it the next day. So make sure you're taking some time, drinking some water, taking breaks, stretching, all good things like that, regardless if you're using a snowblower or a shovel. Now, if you're using a shovel, what do most people do when they tend to shovel snow?
Slip and fall? Oh, no, that's just me.
Oh, that's definitely part of it too, right? Because you're probably a little icy under all that snow. But a lot of times when we're shoveling, we tend to twist it, and some people try to throw it over their shoulder, if you're digging something versus trying to move all that snow. Or if you're doing your sidewalk, people tend to push forward, scoop it up, and then twist to one side or the other, right?
Yeah, a lot of twisting and turning.
Yeah, and that's not good because that's going to load your trunk, and that extra force of twisting, you're going to hurt your back more likely than not. And we see that a lot in the wintertime. We see a lot more low back pain, disc bulges, disc herniation, stuff like that, because we're using a lot more exertion than we're used to. Because not everyone's out moving snow or moving dirt all the time, right? Mm. So they say the best way to move all that snow is to not trying to lift it, but to push it.
Okay.
Push it to where you want to get to, either if it's at the end of the driveway or going from a side angle on your sidewalk or driveway, pushing it to the sides. That way you're not twisting or anything like that. But even with that, people tend to just bend, they crouch over the shovel versus using their knees. Just like when you lift a box or something like that, make sure you're bending at your knees, using your big butt muscles, because those are really strong, right? We want to make sure that we're activating those to help us move things versus our back muscles, which aren't as strong.
So it's using the muscles you're supposed to use instead of the back.
Exactly, yeah, because then you're not affecting those as much. But still, make sure you're taking breaks. Divvy it up. Don't do it all at one time. Stretch beforehand. Warm up good like you're about to go do some exercise, because you are going to go do some exercise,
Absolutely.
Right? So that's part of it too, is if you're not warming up properly and your muscles are cold, you could very well injure them as well just from the little bit of extra exertion that you're doing.
Yeah, I got my exercise just putting on my my coat and my gloves and my hat and my mittens and all that stuff. So if people would like to reach out to you, maybe they didn't do all of those things. Now they're going, oh, my back doesn't feel great. Or even if they did do all of those things, but they just want to get on a good healthcare plan with Balanced Life Chiropractic, how do they get in touch with you?
Yeah, we'd love to chat with them and help them, with their aches and pains, especially if they overdid it a little bit last week. But they can give us a call at 605-215-1785. They can shoot us a message on Facebook at Balanced Life Chiropractic.
Very nice. And you can also find them online at BalancedLifeSD.com.